All right, folks. Hope you guys are having a good day. Saturday, August something. August 13th. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good one. Play some games. I like to start these streams a lot of times with just a little bit of, a little bit of a talk or a lecture. So I'd like to talk a little bit about writing today because I've been doing some writing on writing. So people have been asking about what when am I going to do a storycraft book? And the answer is I'm writing it now. I've done a lot of content on fiction writing, and it's about time to do a nonfiction book. So I'm working on that. I still have some other fiction books that I need to polish up and get out this year before I put out the storycraft book. But that will come down the pipe here at some point, and I'm pretty excited about that. So what I want to talk about today is character descriptions and how a character description actually leads to the reader or the audience's, if you're doing like a visual medium, obviously, how the character just simply appears. How that leads to the audience's attitudes about that character. So the fact that the character has physical features are not irrelevant unless you take a completely, postmodern approach to writing, and that's probably not going to be the case for most people. You're going to choose character traits to make people think certain things about the characters if you're doing this correctly. So one of the best examples that I can think of is Baron Harkonnen from the Dune novels. And you can also think about this in the Dune movies. In fact, I think it's good to compare the books to the movies and compare the movies with each other to kind of get what I'm talking about here. Baron Harkonnen is a physically disgusting character. He looks awful. He's obese. He has like these suspenders that levitate him because his girth is so great. So he's horribly obese, which signals to the audience that he's hedonistic, right? He eats nonstop. He's a glutton. He really is a glutton. But he's obese. He's covered in boils. One of the things I love is in the David Lynch version of Dune, you have a doctor like sucking the pus out of his boils, and it's just a great image. The Harkonnen from the Lynch movies is so much more wicked and disgusting than the Harkonnen from the newer Denis Villeneuve version of Dune. It's much more effective. So the physiognomy of the character, the physical arrangement of the character, determines a lot of the traits of the character and what people pick up on that. The truth is, people judge books by their covers, and they judge people by their appearances. Whether it's a book that has a cover, they judge it by the cover, or it's a person who has a physical arrangement, they're going to judge that person based on their physical arrangement. So as a writer, the physical arrangement of a character is going to matter a lot to the audience's interpretation of whether that character is good, bad, a villain, a hero, or someone likable or someone unlikable. Now, Baron Harkonnen is obese, but is a character being fat, does that automatically make him unlikable? No, it all depends on context. Baron Harkonnen, the attention is drawn to his girth and his disgusting fat to make the audience disgusted with him, and it's done in a way that highlights his horrible hedonism. You also get in his head, and you find out like he's a pedophile, and he's just an absolutely detestable human being. Truly a villain. Like Frank Herbert really doesn't pull any punches. He makes this guy the dastardliest, most wicked character you can imagine. He's got every vice. So evil characters are afflicted with vices. They are gluttons. They're full of wrath. They have all of these. Think of the 7 deadly sins. That's really 7 vices. Villains are going to have those a lot. But if you have a jolly innkeeper whose belly like hangs over his belt, and who has big rosy cheeks, you're not going to think of him as an evil character. Chances are you're going to think of him as a rather good character. And this is because the context of how physical traits are presented to a reader or to a viewer in visual media matters to how we interpret those physical traits and what we're going to think about the character. So, if you see Butterbur come bumbling up with his big belly and his beard and his jolly attitude, you're not going to think he's a villain or he's bad. In fact, you're probably going to think better of the fat innkeeper because he makes a lot of good food, obviously, because he's eating it a lot, right? Just like how you don't think bad of a fat hobbit who enjoys eating. It's because, well, the food is good. That means that he's a good cook. He knows how to procure some good victuals. That's why he has a bit too much fat. So the way that physical, maybe we call it a flaw, the way that is presented has a lot to do with how the audience is going to interpret that physical arrangement. Likewise, you can describe the same facial arrangement in a couple of different ways. If I say he had a lean and gaunt appearance with a sharp hook-like nose and keen eyes that were always scanning his environment, you're like, that maybe he's a crafty kind of character. I wonder about him. But if I say he had a rat-like face, you're going to immediately think he's a bad character. You're going to think, oh, this guy's like a cunning little, he's like a rat. He's going to be a little conniving character. So the way that you describe what's basically the same features, if I say rat-like face and if I say and I do all those other descriptions, you're going to think that this character is going to be villainous somehow. If I say he's a character who's naturally thin and his eyes were keen, that could also be describing the same thing, but we're not going to necessarily think he's a bad character as a result of that. But we're going to start assuming some things about the character regardless. Why am I drawing attention to his sharp or hook-like nose or eagle-like nose, something like that? Why am I drawing attention to his small, keen eyes, which are like a rat's? Why am I drawing attention to his lean, gaunt face? Those are all physical traits that let the audience know what they need to think about the character. So character descriptions really matter. One of the things that you'll notice, say, if you're reading something like romance, is that you're never going to have a hero who is not described in some sort of physically masculine and attractive way. You're not going to have the main character. The main character will have to, at best, the main character is usually the female, and I would think of the hero. It tends to be the male who rescues her. That's a really common romance trope. But anyway, the main female character is at best going to have to decide between two different forms of beauty. Is he like the lean swimmer-like body, or is he like the chiseled bodybuilder? Like which one am I going to pick? And usually traits are going to go with that. So if you have a guy who's a lean swimmer, he's going to be maybe more suave and debonair. The guy who's like a chiseled bodybuilder is going to be more directly masculine. He's going to be the guy who, rather than being very subtle, he's going to be very forthright. And those are both qualities that can have different levels of attraction. You could be attracted to someone who's subtle. You can be attracted to someone who's direct. You can be attracted to beauty that's demure. You can be attracted to beauty which is provocative. It just depends on the context and all those sorts of things. But you'll notice that the character traits are going to go with the character type. So the more subtle character is going to have a more subtle physique. And the more brutish character is going to have a more brutish physique. And the ugly character is going to have an ugly physique. The mean and cruel character will have ugly physical features that coincide with that. This has been done in fiction going back for a very, very, very long time indeed. And certainly with prose fiction, it's been a staple for hundreds of years at this point. So use it. And you have to think about how your character descriptions are really, what they're really communicating about the character to your audience. Obviously, if you want a character to be beautiful, you're going to describe what her beautiful traits are. If you want a character who's less beautiful but maybe has some other qualities, you're going to point out the flaws. So you might say that the character is a little soft or round or chubby or something like that, which means that, maybe if that character is a love interest, they have to present something that's much more attractive than their physical arrangement. That could be a good story as well there, right? So one of the tropes you'll notice as you read books is that the female lead is described as beautiful because we like beautiful people and we want to imagine someone beautiful, and you want the protagonist to end up with a beautiful woman, or vice versa. You want a female protagonist to end up with the handsome man. Readers like that. They're interested in what's attractive. What you're probably not going to see a lot of, unless the author is doing it for direct reasons, is having a character who is physically deformed or physically deficient. You're in kind of the anti-hero territory if you do that. A lot of people think of anti-heroes now as being like Batman. He's like a vigilante, and he's kind of mean to bad guys, but otherwise he's not he's kind of bad. He's like the Punisher. No, I'm thinking more like Thomas Covenant. So if you haven't read Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, I've talked about it on the channel. They're very interesting fantasy books. They're not for everyone, and indeed, I think most people will be put off, especially by the first beginning of the first book, where he ends up raping a girl. Right? This is an event that happens, and it's an event which kind of has these major consequences in what's going on, because he doesn't accept the reality of what he's being presented with, and that kind of flows from that. But anyway, Thomas Covenant is a leper, literally a leper. He has leprosy, and he's shunned by his community because he has leprosy. He's missing part of his hand because it got injured and got gangrene and had to be, cut off. So he's missing part of his hand. He's never described as being physically attractive. He's always hunched over and acting like a leper. And he has personality traits which are very off-putting. He's a petty and angry character who doesn't want to help other people and wants to wallow in his own misery. So he's a real anti-hero in that he doesn't have the normal traits that you'd write for a hero. Now, Stephen R. Donaldson, he does Thomas Covenant that way for a good reason. It's not because he wants you to like Thomas Covenant. In fact, Thomas Covenant is intended to be very dislikable. But because Thomas Covenant's relationship with the fantasy world and with himself is what is the focus of the story. And that's where the interesting conflicts really start to arise. So Thomas Covenant really shouldn't be attractive, and he shouldn't be likable, and he shouldn't be someone that you immediately want to succeed, because that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is to do the opposite of that. It's to make a character that's dislikable, that's not likable, that's really not wanting to be a hero, and you don't really care about him being the hero either. But either way, the physical traits of the character really matter. So think about that when you're giving a character description. A character who's very, brutish and strong will probably be very brutish. I think one example that comes to mind, since I just did a video on Fritz Leiber the other week. So Fritz Leiber wrote Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, these series of stories about these two roguish characters. And Fafhrd is one who he is specifically drawn to contrast. He's very tall, but he's not particularly robust, and Fritz Leiber talks about that. He's got a more of a thin appearance, but he's still very strong and very tall. He's a tall barbarian. He also has a higher voice because he's a trained bard, like he's been trained to sing and things like that. So he has a higher, clearer voice, which contrasts with his very kind of impressive physical arrangement, where he's very, very tall. And then there's the contrast with the Grey Mouser. Mouses tends to be much smaller, more rat-like. He's called the Mouser, and he acts a bit like a rat or a mouse, So their physical arrangement matters, but one of the things that Fritz Leiber draws attention to is the contrast. Is like, Fafhrd is very tall and would be brutish, except he's got this high voice and these other subtle things about him which make him more of a thief-like rogue character and not like, Conan the Barbarian kind of big, strong warrior. Though Conan acts as a thief plenty of times as well, I should point out. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd give you that little lecture before we get to playing some games. Hope you guys are having a good one. Good to see Sergeant Slim Jim here. I recorded a little podcast with him this week, so that will be up on his channel. So you can hop over to his channel and subscribe. I think it's safe to say that everyone who read Dune enjoyed hating the Baron. Yeah, he's a character who's supposed to be like, you hate him. There's even a point where he thinks about his nephew and he thinks about the nephew's beauty. He's like sexually attracted to him. Every time you get a moment with the Baron, he reveals something else that's more vicious and evil. He's not merely an antagonist. He's not some sort of neutral, Machiavellian antagonist. This guy's evil. And his physical arrangement goes to that. If he sounds like a snake, it's a mistake. So whatever you draw attention to. His S's were prolonged like he was some sort of snake. And you're going to think, there's something off about this guy. You probably wouldn't talk about your main character's pronunciation of S's. People would just default and think he talks like a normal guy, or they'd imagine his deep, resounding voice. So anyway, let's go ahead and play a little bit. It is Saturday. What a good day. I think the last video I uploaded was just a bunch of rain here. We had this crazy rainstorm this week. I kind of want to do like a big one that's like just collect a bunch of footage of rain, make like a 6-hour rain compilation. I think that'd be really fun. I bet you over time it would get a lot of YouTube views because people like to just put on rain. They like the sound of rain, and YouTube has that, or they like to just see ambiance on their second monitor. I'm one of those people. I bet you would get a lot of views over time. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's get, sorry for the, there we go. Let's see if we got this set up correctly here. There it is, I hear it. All right, let's go down to the beta. I need to make sure I'm broadcasting at the right. Okay, yes, okay. Sometimes I record in 4K. I record game footage in 4K, so I just had to make sure I was still broadcasting in 1080p. Because you can stream in 4K, but it's really easy for that stream to not go well because you have to have your you basically have to have your internet running at maximum uptime the whole time, and it doesn't really look that much better than 1080p for most things. Why would I why would I transmit Final Fantasy VII, which is a game that ran at what 240i? Why would I want to broadcast that in 4K? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There we go. Actually, I think I saved it in level 16. 932. Alright, let's do this one. I think we got our chocobo. I think I saved it. We got to go through the cave or something? Yeah, okay. Let's go in the cave. Put this here. Let's put this over here. This way I can, let's do pop-out chat. I like that. And I can see the chat really good. Right here. Put that down. I do like working with this big 4K monitor as a workspace. It makes, like, you could see so much here. Turn on that light, blinding me. There we go. Some good little music track here. Where does this go? I wonder if there's like a chest down here. I'll tell you what there probably is monsters. Monsters! I need to heal up. I need to heal some people. Well, we killed the guy. There we go. Speaking of that, do the healing wind. There's the chest. Mind source. I wonder what that is. Raises spirit. Okay. Kind of want to switch out Barrett. Because I have like a melee weapon on him anyway. Look at those guys. Swamp shoot. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's like R2. Which you do on the Vita, you do R2 and L2 by touching the back. See? But yeah, that's right. You want to see who you can actually attack? It's L2, R2. I'm having a good weekend so far. Been short so far because it's like just been the morning. I just want to say hi before I teach a lesson. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you have a good weekend too. That you teach well. Let's see what this goes. Rude. Just a second. By any chance, are you... Do you know who I am? From the Turks, right? Well, if you know, then this won't take long. It's difficult to explain what the Turks do. Kidnapping, right? To put it negatively, you could say that. But that's not all there is to it anymore. I'm running this off the Vita. It's running on the Vita, and I'm putting the video out into my computer. This picks it up as a video source. So all the features of the Nintendo Switch were actually in the PlayStation Vita years beforehand, but Sony didn't unlock them all. Fun. Sir. It's all right, Rude. I know you don't like speeches, so don't force it. Then Elena? Explain. I'm the newest member of the Turks, Elena. Thanks to what you did to Reno, we're short of people. Although, because of that, I got promoted to the Turks. In any case, our job is to find out where Sephiroth is headed. And to try to stop you every step of the way. Wait a minute. It's the other way around. You're the ones that are getting in our way. Elena, you talk too much. I'll never forget what the Turks did in 1453. May Constantine the 11th. May he rest. As he deserves. Mr. Ting, no need to tell them about our orders. Sorry, Ting. I thought I gave you other orders. Now go, don't forget to file your report. Oh, right. Very well, Rude and I will go after Sephiroth, who's heading for Junon Harbor. Elena, you don't seem to understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Go, don't let Sephiroth get away. Yes, sir. Don't forget what the Turks did in the first part of the 20th century, either. Armenian genocide. Sorry. A little bit of allergies for some reason. Been having them this week. Which is how it goes. Reno said he wanted to see you after the injuries you gave him healed. He wants to show his affection for you all with a new weapon. Well then. Eris, a long time no see. Looks like you got away from the Shinra for a while, now that Sephiroth reappeared. So what are you saying, that I should be grateful to Sephiroth? No. Well, I won't be seeing too much of you, so take care. Strange hearing that from you. Well then, stay out of Shinra's way. Yeah, I hadn't really had much in the way of allergies since I moved back, but I have definitely had more severe ones since a couple weeks ago. It's going to change out my party. Probably don't need to, but... Yeah, I was gonna put in Tifa. Get out here. There we go. Mithril Claw. Fire, all, yeah. Steel, ice. You can do sense as well. It's talisman. Titan Bangle, heal, store, poison. Really should have, let's take ice off. And let's do ice. Okay, there we go. Which Final Fantasy has the best battle system in your opinion? Well, I mean, this will come as a surprise. I mean, if you take Final Fantasy Tactics out of the equation, I would say Final Fantasy XII, believe it or not, which had a battle system made by the same guy as Tactics. Got a tint, okay. I know that that's like completely different from the regular turn-based stuff, but Final Fantasy XII's battle system is awesome. That's just attack the snake. What does this do? I don't know, but whatever. Thanks for your Storycraft videos. They're invaluable to developing my creative writing skills. Well, thanks for watching. I will have the book out here at some point, and that'll be like a good reference that I can give to people or sell to people for a long time. Wow, that's cool. That's a good limit break. 13's battle system is really satisfying despite them slow rolling it out over 12 plus hours. Yeah, I actually really like Final Fantasy 13's battle system, and I like the game in general too. I think it's a game that plays better almost on its second playthrough because the story makes more sense. Though it's a little bit more annoying that you can't just do all the full features of the system right from the get-go. They really kind of give you one little thing at a time. These guys are brutal. It's a strange game design philosophy where they give your gameplay elements piecemeal. Western devs try to give you as much out of the gate as possible. Sort of. If you're playing an RPG, the nature of things like talent trees and feats and stuff like Dungeons and Dragons is that you actually don't get the full system out of the gate, but you can see the full system. Whereas in Final Fantasy 13, it's rather opaque that you're going to get more levels of your like little crystal talent tree unlocked. You can't see the full talent tree, so it's a little bit weird by comparison. Which Final Fantasy had your favorite setting? Probably Final Fantasy IX. I just love the high fantasy setting of Final Fantasy IX. Close second would probably be Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy XIV. I really like the settings of both of those. Of course, Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO, so you get a ton of depth with the setting. But Final Fantasy XII had a very deep and satisfying setting as well. I really enjoyed it. Elixir. Gotta save those elixirs. High potion. Alright, where do I go? Do I have to go back? Go a different way? Wait. Can I go this way? I have to go down? I don't remember where I was supposed to go. I don't have a lot of thoughts on Final Fantasy VIII because I never finished the game. That's kind of on my to-do list, is to actually play Final Fantasy VIII for real. I like Final Fantasy X quite a bit. I think it's a little bit simple and maybe too straightforward compared to other games, but I think it's great. I think it's fun to play. I like the aesthetics of it. They're very 2000. Like, all the character designs are really silly. They have the silliest character designs in Final Fantasy. Is that Final Fantasy X? Their costumes are just ridiculous. I think I like Final Fantasy X-2 quite a bit, which is one of the weirdest sequels of a game ever. It's just bizarre. I'm playing 12 for the first time. The voice acting cutscenes are maybe the best. Oh, I love the voice acting, and it's all very close mic'd, so you can really hear their voices. And there's that reverbless close mic sound. It's just really one of my favorites. I really like it. I have a lot of affection for Final Fantasy 12. Actually, a lot of affection for it. Final Fantasy XIV is the only Final Fantasy that I've completed the entire story of. Well, all the way up to the end of the latest expansion anyway. It's a wild ride. Yeah, it's like reading a novel series almost. There's a lot to Final Fantasy XIV, which I appreciate. I haven't played it in a while. I haven't played it in like a couple weeks. Oh, I can crawl up the tree. That's how. In a game, which is more important to you, setting and story or gameplay mechanics? Gameplay and mechanics, way more important. Most of the game is gameplay, and the setting and story kind of piece the different set pieces and gameplay elements together in most games. It's not to say you can't have a good story or that the story is irrelevant, but the gameplay is the first thing that matters. Gameplay matters more than anything else. Because it's a game, just like how you can't have a movie without visuals. You can't have a game without gameplay. And the better the gameplay is, the more fun the game is, the more people are going to like it, the better time you'll have. You know, what's the story of Super Mario Brothers? To win, that's the story. Go get Bowser. Alright. Let's save our game here. Final Fantasy XVI might just be Devil May Cry with classic summons. Well, I like Devil May Cry. I'd give anything for Square Enix to make a modern Final Fantasy 6 through 9 style game. They do that, though. Travel the whole world, scattered maps throughout, bring it back down to Earth. There's Lost Sphere. You could play Octopath Traveler. They still do games like that. There's Dragon Quest, the Dragon Quest games. You can still play Final Fantasy 6 through 9 style games. So yeah, Lost Sphere is one. What's the other one? Yeah, played Lost Sphere. There's another one that I'm thinking of that I haven't played yet. They created a whole studio that was like for that. And I think they shut that studio down. Tokyo RPG Factory. Yeah. So Lost Sphere. Oh, what's this one? Setsuna of Rice and Ruin, which is a good one. And what is this one? Oninaki. This is all I'm looking at their page in Japanese, so I don't know whether they're still around. I heard they closed down Tokyo RPG Factory, but yeah, you definitely check those games out. They're good. They're very good games. Final Fantasy XIV's story is very time-consuming, but it's full of good gameplay. It really pushes you through every piece of content that they have, some version of it. Obviously, not like the Savage raids, but you know, it gets you through other pieces of content. Oh God, is this the tower defense? Oh. Okay, I'm glad I said that. All right. We've been fighting the Shinra for a long time at this battlefield. Even now, we're still settled in for a long war with them. If you ain't in a hurry, would you help us fight them? Listen, we don't want to push you, but if you're in the middle of something, why don't you just finish that first? Where's Junon? Let's see. Head north along the coast and keep going for a ways, and you'll run into Junon. You gotta be careful, because it sits in the shadows of a small hill. Stranger Paradise was great. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of that. I played it on stream a little bit, too. I have the PSP Crisis Core on the Vita, which is great. Head north along the coast. I really, really hate the tower defense minigame. I might look up like the way to do it. Oh, you know, there's some music playing on a webpage. On this, that's what it is. There's music playing on the Tokyo RPG Factory webpage. Oh, look at this guy. There you go, Tifa. Good job. I think I can come back and do the... I'll like look up a guide on how to do the tower defense. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do this stupid thing. There we go. I'm touching the... Alright. There we go. They also came out with Triangle Strategy, which is a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics. And they're coming out with a remake of Ogre Tactics. Tactics Ogre. Which is a great game, which you can get on the PSP. I mean, on the PS Vita. That I don't know, you know, I would love for people to check that out. You could play the SNES original probably for free if you find the ROM. Yeah, I'm gonna look up a. I'm gonna look up how to do this tower defense thing because I just don't want to think about it. Fort Condor. The goal of Fort Condor. Oh, this is a remake. God, we don't want that. Here we go. I have to have 4,000 guild before I begin. Let me see, how much do I have? 4,500, okay. So you don't get the item if you just... I always just fought the guy at the end, you know? So I don't know what we want to do. Alright. Well, we already did a save, so we'll just try it out. All right. I like Final Fantasy X-2's job system, but I was already embarrassed to be seen playing it. Yeah, sitting on the train with your Vita, having the girls change outfits. It's silly, right? But it's actually pretty good, I think. Now this is something I never thought anyone would ever climb up here. Your eyes are different. Well, anyhow, any minute now, this will be a battlefield against Shinra. You better get down before you get involved. You mean Shinra? What do you mean a battlefield? It appears you have a problem with Shinra too. After all, you climbed up here. Why not listen to what I have to say for a moment? I guess so. Do you know what's at the top of this mountain? A huge bird. The reactor and the Condor. That's right, on that mountain is a Condor and a reactor. It seems the Shinra doesn't like the idea of having a Condor on top of the reactor. What's so wrong with having a Condor on top of the reactor? Why? It seems there's some type of special materia in the reactor above us, and because the Condors came, the Shinra rushed troops up here. The military wants to get the Condor and all the villagers off this mountain. The Condors are now warming their eggs, which hatch only once every few years. We would like to protect the Condors from being harmed. New lives. Condor's eggs, a real work of nature. We've got to protect the life of the planet. We must protect the Condor eggs, right? Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to fight Shinra ourselves. That's why we have hired soldiers to help us. As our sponsor, you can help us with a contribution or by fighting alongside of us. What do you think? Do you want to join us in our fight? Cloud, why are you still worrying about it? Cloud, thanks. Yes, let's do our best. Oh yeah, that's how you get down. We'll get some rest. What's a good title from the SNES or PSX era for entry experience? I'd say Final Fantasy VI is a really good one. Final Fantasy VII is good. A lot of people like that one, obviously, but I think it hasn't aged visually all that well. So, Final Fantasy VI, I think, is a better entry point. It still looks really beautiful. It's got a great story. Great gameplay. In general, it's a great game. I don't think I made a video on it. I did a full playthrough of it on the channel, but I don't think I made my full review video. I think I had to move and stuff before I was able to do that. So, maybe we'll do that next time. I'll just say item shop. Extra one of those is good. Well, for some reason we don't have any materia. Oh, here we go. I have an old phone and a Razer Kishi, so I'm turning it on a retro remote gaming device. Yeah, that's cool. You can actually buy you can get RetroArch on there, and it looks really good. You can also get Final Fantasy IX for Android. They have these mobile versions of these games. I think 6 has great music. I think 6 is definitely an S-tier Final Fantasy game. I'd say the best Final Fantasy games are probably 4, 6, 12, 9. It's probably the 4 best, I think. Thanks for accepting. Let me explain our strategy. The enemy will climb the mountain looking for the reactor. We will leave a trap for them and hire soldiers to protect the area. Well, that's all, but this village doesn't have any money. Even if we wanted to fight, our hands are tied because we're broke. If we hired 1 soldier, we would need 400 gil. So if we hired 20 soldiers, we must have 8,000 gil. So if you folks have the time, we would like you to use your own money to hire these soldiers. Buy the trap, set it up, and command the troops. If you're pressed for time, we'd like you to help us with the money. If you can give us the money, we can then hire soldiers with the funds and block Shinra's attack. We know that what we're asking is selfish. We have sent our wives and children to another village. We are resigned to our fate. Let's get back to square one. If the enemy penetrates our shed, you'll have to fight them immediately. Well, just because you lost once, it's not the end of the world. But if you lose repeatedly, it could be dangerous. Now then, is there anything you wish to ask? Hey, this one's climbing up here. Looks like they'd be just right. Please, any help is appreciated. Okay, ready. Oh, it doesn't let me start it unless I have 4,000 gil. Whoops! Alright, we'll have to come back. Because I bought an extra restore materia. I have to go make some money. It's alright. And spending my money on stuff. One thing I do like about the Final Fantasy XII remaster is that it has like a turbo speed button. So you can zoom around really fast. If you want to like do all the little side quests and stuff, it's really helpful. You can go through all the screens really quickly. Have you played Outward by 9 Dots? I haven't. It mixes Bethesda and Final Fantasy in a way I've longed for. It's indie. A little rough, but I adore it and I have big hopes for the sequel to reach its potential. Something level up here. Alright, silences everyone. All. Link to the Past is a really good game. Am I going the right way? I want to go north. I think we can pick up Yuffie in here somewhere. I don't remember where though. I think you can do Fort Condor like later when you're higher level too. Oh, I loved Link to the Past as a kid. What I loved is the game came with like this little sealed book of secrets. It's like, don't open this unless you're really stuck. And I got really stuck somewhere and I opened it and it didn't tell me how to get past that spot. Turns out I needed to like light some torches that I didn't quite see in the environment. There she is. Nothing to steal. Man, I can't believe I lost. You spiky-headed jerk. One more time. Let's go one more time. I'm gonna lose this time. Take your time and get ready. Holler when you're ready. I think we're ready. No way I'm gonna fight with punks like you more than once. I'll keep enough for the doctor bill. Next time you won't be as lucky. Hey, my money! Wait a second. Where's my money? I don't think Zelda 2 is all that underrated. I think there's a lot of problems with Zelda 2. I have a lot of affection for it because I grew up with it, but the game was really, really too difficult. I hate to say a game's too difficult, but it's like unbalanced with its difficulty. It's really hard to beat without a guide. Ah. Come on, where is she? Oh, great, we got these guys. Ouch. Ah, and I did it again. Skyward Sword is super underrated. Much better experience on the Switch than on the Wii for me personally. I think it was underrated in general, but I think it's one of those examples where, like, you know, Nintendo develops a technology and looks for reasons to use it, and motion controls were that. Like, motion controls were never very good, and I think there's very few games that use them effectively and more effectively than they would have been had you just used traditional. Had you just use traditional controls. So I'm really messing up with limit breaks now. You know, that's my whole reflection on the Wii. It's not that it's a bad system. Motion controls did innovate with some things, but mostly they were trying to paste motion controls onto other forms of control. The Wii U had kind of some of the same stuff, like, you know, they wanted you to use that controller pad for everything, and for a lot of things it was actually a really cool second screen. But I never felt like, other than Star Fox Zero, there was a game that was like they really forced you to use controls that were suboptimal because the system was designed around those controls. Yeah, it took them a couple years before they were really willing to just let you use the classic controller for stuff. Make sure I can actually get Yuffie here. I actually do feel like gaming peaked in 2007. I made a essay and video on it. It was like the peak of gaming. It was ground zero. So after 2007, we started to just get repeats of the same games over and over again. And, you know, yeah, that was really where we got the end of that. All right, there she is. Alright. Alright. Man, I can't believe I lost. You spiky-headed jerk. One more time. Let's go one more time. Not interested. Thinking of running away? Stay and fight. Fight, I said. Come on, what's the matter? You're pretty scared of me, huh? Petrified. Just as I thought. What do you expect with my skills? Good luck to you guys, too, if you feel up to it. We can go another round. Later. I'm really gonna leave. Really. Wait a second. What is it? You still having something for me? So is that it? I know you want my help because I'm so good. You want me to go with you? That's right. I thought so. You put me in a spot. What should I do? But if you want me that bad, I can't refuse. All right, I'll go with you. Huh? Hey, hey! Wait, I haven't even told you my name. I think we're doing all like regular names here, so we're just gonna. Usually I'd let the chat name her, but we're gonna. I'm Yuffie. Good to meet ya. I'm gonna do like standard names, like Eris instead of Aerith. Hey, just as I planned. Now all I have to do is a little this and a little that. Nyah, nyah, nyah. Hey, wait up, wait for me. Or what's left of it. Yeah, I love her portrait. Yeah, where is it? Look at it. Yuffie. Maybe level Barrett up a bit. We keep the same materia. Oh, he has earth and heal. Okay. I actually want. Nah. I think I do want Tifa. We could try out Yuffie for a little bit. Throw. No, I'll just try it out for a little bit. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of design innovation. That's a good point. CRTs did make things look a little smoother. Hey, Cat, what's up? You trying to get up in my lap, I see. And failing. Come here. Here, let's say hi. Say hi. Okay, you can sit there. Wait, how much? All right, I have enough gil. We'll go do the. We'll go do the thing here. We'll go do the stupid thing. The tower defense. Oh, we can throw stuff. All right, kitty. Shit, it's hard. Yes, some people like this minigame. I hate it. I think it's one of the... And Final Fantasy VII has some bad minigames. This is like the worst minigame in the history of Final Fantasy, in my opinion. And the problem with minigames is like there's a main gameplay system and you're not engaging with that. Like you're not playing your characters. You're doing something else. It's kind of like vehicles in World of Warcraft. Like the first time you do a vehicle, you're like, well, that's kind of fun. When they have a bunch of vehicles and like that becomes a huge part of the gameplay in a couple expansions, it's really annoying because you're not playing your character. You're not like playing a rogue. You're doing something else. You're like clicking two buttons on a tank. It becomes boring. All right, cat. Listen, you can stay. Oh, you are very sweet, you purring cat. You can stay, but you gotta sit down, okay, and be good. No, don't you hit that keyboard. Do you think she likes? She's super into the TV. You probably can't see her. I'll put this camera down. She's super into the TV. and she wants to, like, click the buttons and attack the TV. You see her? No, don't scratch it. Don't scratch the monitor. What are you doing? Silly cat. Why don't you sit down? I love you too. Yeah, look at this cat. Where's my OBS? It's over here. Now look at her. Cat's constantly trying to get out and go into the woods. There are things out there that will eat you. There are things in the woods that will eat you. You silly cat. You can see my colorful ducky keyboard. I got another one too I need to review. Okay, cat. Sorry, cats need... She likes to try to click all the keys. There you are. There's a new game that came out that was actually pretty fun to play. It was called Stray. And you play as a stray cat in like a city full of weird robots where all the people disappeared. It's actually pretty fun. It's a pretty fun game. Purple and green are complementary colors, but they're that pinky purple and then the green are my kids' favorite colors, so that's what they wanted. They wanted me to have all those colors. Let's go rest real quick. Forspoken was being memed on this week. I did not. I don't think I did. Switch out for Tifa. Actually, Tyria. Ring. Let's put in Yuffie. So she has like a ranged attack, so she's good here. Equip. She got carbon bangle. That's good. No accessories. All right. Materia. Do. Let's do. Fire. All. Throw, restore, and steal. Sorry. Let's rest. I was just so mad with high school tier writing, which you see from your average decadent Western studio. All right. Kitty, are you part of the stream here? Oh, you really are a sweet little cat. He is a very nice cat. There's a cat that just showed up at our house, at our old house, and wouldn't leave, so she just became our cat. I tried to find the owners and never found her. The owners never got her back. going to do this real quick, which is we're going to make a save state. John C. Wright is going to write 12 Star Quest novels. That's a lot. He's already drafted 6. That's awesome. We never found the owners. She had a collar, and then she came back without the collar and just wouldn't leave the house. Kept running inside. So, after an exhaustive search of the neighborhood, we decided she was our cat. We found out in the state of California, you actually can't legally own the cat. There's the falcon, or the condor. Let's talk to the guy. You have 10 enemies. There appear to be many beasts, so you may want to deploy more attackers. Set units. Set them. So I could totally just not spend any money and just wait. What should we do? Or should we like put some units down there and just attack them? I don't remember what we get. You actually don't get an item at the end of the game. Let's see what we get. Okay. Let's see, a Vagarisk Claw. Oh, you get gil back for each unit left alive. You get a magic comb. It's a red 13 thing. You can get a ring. A super ball. Okay. Do we want to get the magic comb? Do we care about that? Do we care about the peace ring? Or do we want to just like not place anything and let them run in? What do you think of picture generating AIs like DALL-E? Do you think they could eventually be useful for creating book covers? I think they could, actually. I think there's a lot of potential there because they kind of operate in the known channels. I would totally use them to make book covers, actually. And if you look at a lot of the book covers from the 70s in the science fiction space, they could be made by AI today with no problems. In fact, I might have one on my bookshelf. Maybe not on this bookshelf, actually. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This is actually a really good example that Hardwick Bentho brings up. It's like, yes, AIs could be used for this. My question is usually like copyright. So look at this cover. This does not say English Knights in Space, which is what the story is. English Knights hijack an alien ship. This is an example of one of these generic sci-fi covers from the 70s. Every era has this generic template for their book covers. And so one of them from the I think this is from the 70s or 60s. 1975, I thought so. So the 70s all had these weird kind of abstract, I don't even know what this is. I can't tell what that is. Can you? An AI could easily generate this. You'd say, strange spacescape of a red planet with green objects around it, and then they would spit out would look like this, and just make this a cover. Easy. Right? The current trend is just a planet and a ship, and it's been that way for like 10 years. An AI could easily generate that. Like I could do Photoshop covers for people for sci-fi covers like 10 a day if I wanted to. They're really easy to do. So yeah, I could totally see them useful for book covers. Are they going to create something like fine art? That's a bigger question. I think maybe not in the way that we would think of it, but they could certainly make just the colors, right? The colors of a book cover really matter like more even than the image. It's like this red and green and blue kind of says sci-fi, In the year 1345, it's English Knights in Space, but they don't really tell you that. It's a really bad book cover in my opinion for that reason. It just doesn't communicate anything interesting about the story. It's generic to the point where it's almost deceptively generic, right? You should show some knights in a spaceship. So, I don't know. Do we want to try this? I'm looking up some strategies. All right, we'll try to get this. Let's do no. Let's get some attackers. Let's get an attacker here. Okay. All right, we'll do another attacker. All right. Then we start the game. Action. Move there. Action, move, there. Action, move, there. And then we're just gonna grab these guys. Action, move down there. Action, move here. Speed it up a little bit. Beast. Beast. Encountered an enemy. Enemy destroyed. Encountered an enemy. Enemy destroyed. Alright, come on, dude. Gotta get these guys moving further down here. Alright. Alright, this guy's not going to do that good. Can I place something here? Shooter. Yeah, I'm not doing this very good. You have to like mob everybody down at the bottom, and that's how you really. That's really how you get this encounter done here. Because it ends as soon as you kill everything off the map. I was on the wait list for the new and improved Dolly 2 and finally got the invite 2 days ago. Some of the pictures I was able to generate look exactly as if a person painted them. Halted the enemy attack! We won! We won the tower defense game. Woo! That was good, but Shinra's troops will be back. Be sure and scout the area well. We don't know when they'll attack again. We have 5 allies left, so here's 1,000 gil. Oh yeah, I found this just now on the battlefield. Maybe it'll come in handy for you guys. Got the magic comb. So we can actually do that again and get a peace ring, which I think is good. So maybe we'll do that. I don't love this minigame. It's really not my favorite, but... Alright, we'll come back. We can actually come back later before getting in the water with Mr. Dolphin. And then we can get a peace ring. Yeah, the more you win, you get better and better rewards. You have to do it all the way up till like level 37 when you come back through here, like in disc 3 or something, and then you can get, I think, Yuffie's ultimate weapon. Yeah, my question with the AI generated stuff is whether you can use those images for anything. Or if there's like what the copyright is, because a person didn't make that. So did the software developer get it? Like who owns those images? Do you know what I mean? I don't know who owns the images. This little cat. This little cat. Hey, babe. Those claws are too sharp. I would imagine they should be open source since no person created them. Yuffie limit break. Look at all those limit breaks. Look at those flashing lights. Blade beam. Greased lightning. Some high potions. Don't feel like the people developing advanced AI are free speech, to be honest. I don't think so either. Wait, how do I get in here? Is this it? What happened to this town? It's so run down. Oh, now this is where we almost never have anyone other than Shinra people visit the town. Google has a picture generating AI that's even better than DALL-E 2, but it's not open to the public yet. Ever since Shinra built that city up above during the war, there's been no fish in the water. It's got so polluted. Phew. Here's a big fish skeleton here. What kind of place is this? Who are you people? Where did you come from? Did you see a man with a black cape? I've never seen that fella before. Little kid's bunk bed. I don't know why I'd climb up here, but I'm getting some girl's bed. Loot someone's house. Give me the secret potions. This might be an inn. You want me? If you see a weapon you want, you better buy it. I like how the weapons shop just doesn't have anything. Buy grenade. There's no weapons here. Weird. Okay. For mid-journey, if you pay the service fee, then you own the image. So that's really useful. Like, it would save time to not have to design book covers. And money too. Frankly, like, artists are really expensive, and sometimes their products are not the best. So if I'm gonna get a product that's not the best, I'd like to not pay a lot for it. That's just me. Hey, Mr. Dolphin. My name is Priscilla. Now you say it. Who are you guys? Are you members of Shinra Inc.? Hey, watch your mouth. We hate the Shinra. That's how it is. I don't believe you. Get out of here. Great. What's that? Be careful, Mr. Dolphin. Hey, hold on. We're coming. Hope you're doing good, Jared. Let's try ice. Hit for 280, okay. See what Bolt does. It's pretty good. Moonstrike. 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 Nice. She's got a bubble. Attack the bubble. Can't reach. How do we pop the bubble? Ouch. Moonstrike. To wait for the child to get knocked underwater to help. That's true. Alright, cat. I'm gonna keep hitting keys, don't you get down. Ooh, I can summon the Choco. Death blow. Jesse Wright drawing an Eternal Dreams comic book adaptation would be awesome, but I'm sure it's too expensive. Yeah, I'd have to... If I crowdfunded it with him, maybe we could just front load the costs, so I wouldn't have to pay him huge amounts of money to... Because he has to drop all his other work in order to do stuff like that. People don't really realize that, how much time it takes to draw like a full page of comic panels. It's a lot of time. So you either, if you want it done quickly, you gotta have somebody who's willing to drop pretty much everything. I wonder if that'll get rid of the bubble. I don't think it will. What are your thoughts on the Sherlock Holmes quote, "There's nothing which deduction is so necessary as religion"? I have no opinion. How's your progress on the Lion Knight's castle? We built a couple rooms. Me and the boy and my daughter tried to help. So we'll build some more. We take our time with those kinds of things. I wonder if I have to like heal them all the way up, like top them off for the bubbles to stop. Let's find out. Like if I top them off, does that get rid of the bubble? It doesn't seem to. Let's try. Seem to do it. Oh, whoops! Should have done cloud. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. Big wave. I don't get rid of that bubble. Do I have to attack the bubble? Didn't seem to do anything. Big wave. See if I can save Yuffie. Nope. Nope. She died anyway. Oh, that was lame. Luckily, I do have a Phoenix down. Now you get rid of the bubble. I guess that's one way to get rid of the bubble. Bubble. So how do I get rid of the bubble? Yeah, like how do I get rid of the bubble? Maybe we'll try fire on the bubble. Oh, never mind. He died. This is bad. You don't think she's dead, do you? Priscilla! Gotta save her, Rebecca. I remember my dad building my first big Lego sets with me. He was amazed at the magnets and fiber optics of the Aquazone and UFO sets. I had the Aquazone base, I think. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I saved all my Legos from when I was a kid. Hey, that's it. Young man, CPR now. Mouth to mouth. Do it, Cloud. But she's just a girl. Cloud, hurry. What? You don't know how? Come over here, I'll show you. Yes, I gotta do it. Just take a deep breath, hold it in, then breathe into her. Hurry up and do it. Press the square button once and it starts the CPR gauge. Push it again and it stops the gauge. Okay. Come on. I can't get it to go. Do I gotta wait till it's like all the way at the top? Let's find out. Look at the sparkling water. If you look at it, it's actually just a bunch of little star pixels, little sprites, just turning on and off. That makes you see the water there. It's kind of interesting. Hey, Priscilla, are you all right? Yeah, the CPR minigame at least takes less time. Hey, come in for a while. I heard what happened. You did so much for Priscilla. Y'all must be tired. If you want to get some rest, stay here. Make yourselves at home. Want to rest? Let's rest. Now we could go do the tower defense minigame again and get a pretty cool ring, it looks like. I think we're out of time for today, though. So I may do that off stream because it's just so boring. That reminds me. You again. Who are you? You'll find out soon, but more importantly, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Nibelheim? When you went to Mount Nibel, then, Tifa was your guide, right? Yeah, I was surprised. But where was Tifa other than that? I don't know. There was a great chance for you two to see each other again. You're right. Why couldn't you see each other alone? I don't know. I can't remember clearly. Why don't you try asking Tifa? Yeah. Then get up. Hey, wake up. Wake up, Cloud. Tifa. When Sephiroth and I went to Nibelheim, where were you? We saw each other, right? The other time. No, it was 5 years ago. I don't remember. But something seems strange outside. Cloud, come quick. Here's the little parade music. The past few decades, the only thing I've been hearing about is the Shinra. Missed the times when we used to talk only about fish. As the rest of my girls. Seems like something's going on up there. Does this have something to do with the Shinra? What's this loud music? It's giving me a headache. Doesn't it seem a little strange? Everything getting so noisy all of a sudden. I heard that girl regained consciousness. There she is. Are you alright now? Thanks for helping. I'm sorry, I mistook you for one of those Shinra ink. That's alright. I'll give you something special. It's an amulet. Take good care of it, okay? Received Shiva materia. What's that music? Sure sounds lively. I heard they're rehearsing the reception for the new Shinra president. Rufus, I gotta pay my respects. Grandma and Grandpa told me this beach was beautiful when they were small, but after the Shinra built that city above, the sun stopped shining here and the water got polluted. I was raised on that story, and I hate Shinra so much I could die. You think Rufus is thinking about crossing the ocean from here, too? Does that mean what? Does that mean Sephiroth already crossed the ocean? Cloud, didn't you finish Rufus off? We gotta get to the town up there. Maybe we could climb the tower. No, no, there's a high voltage current running underneath the tower. Don't wander near it, it's dangerous. But you might be able if Mr. Dolphin helps you. Follow me. High voltage tower. I guess this means Cloud will be alright. Yep, better leave it to Cloud. We're counting on you, Cloud. Hey. Wait a second. Don't you just hate this? You're probably right. Aren't you going to follow her? That looks like a Shinra soldier. Now, I think if we go from here to the... yeah, I'd like to take a good look at the new president of Shinra Inc. I think if you go to the tower defense now, you can get a ring that like protects you against all status elements. So... what do you think of the view that Ghostbusters is a materialist in worldview, being about the triumph of science over the supernatural, with proton packs making exorcists obsolete? I think that's accurate. I think it's about... I think it absolutely comes from a materialist point of view. Alright. Sorry your family's sick. Jim, take care. I'm going to sign off too, so this will be about it. Guys, we've been doing 2 hours, so I do 2 hours and then I gotta peace out. But I've had a lot of fun hanging out and chatting with you. I think the only time I will say that Ghostbusters is Christian is when it annoys the death cultists. And they're like, oh, it's about fighting ghosts and it's about the triumph of small business and capitalism and Christianity over evil. I'm like, yep, that's what it is. You shouldn't watch it and you should hate it. You should talk about how much you hate Ghostbusters from now on. So, anyway, that's probably it for today. I do appreciate it. New books are coming. I will have more announcements of those as they go. Check out my website, dvspress.com. There is some free stuff from the Storycraft book. I'm going to post like at least a portion of a chapter every week for a while. Those may disappear if I choose to put them on another format like Kindle Vela, which is weird to have nonfiction on Kindle Vela, but I may try it out because it's a way to generate revenue. Kind of funnel people over there to check out what articles they want. I think on Kindle Vela, you can select which ones you want to like pay for, which would actually be an interesting way to sell the book, which is like, here's this chapter, this chapter, this chapter, this chapter. You can just buy the chapter you want to buy. You're like, I just want to read about story settings. I'll just read that one rather than buying a whole, what's going to probably end up being 100 to 200,000 word book on a writing manual. I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible, but there's a lot of details. There's a lot of details that go into an actual story writing manual versus style manuals and what people pass off as writing manuals, which are generally not writing manuals at all. They're marketing manuals often at best. Something like Save the Cat, which I'll probably have a whole chapter on Save the Cat because I'm not a big fan of it, but it has some interesting things about it. Yeah, last thing I'll say about AI is that I think it might be a good tool for artists, give you an idea of what something is, and then you can sketch something final, because you can see, just give you an idea of how things might mix together, and then you can work on your own iteration of it as a final work. So thanks so much, guys. I will see you all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the website, dvspress.com/list, and I'll see you all next time.